did not.
You fucked me up. You bastard.
I am nowhere near you. The button pressing is all on you, Bubba.
Witchy Cat fucked it up.
Did not.
It's Witchy Cat's fault. It's Rebecca's fault. She was pushing the button. She refused to push the button.
I did not.
When's this song over? Jesus, we've been listening to this song for 22 minutes. Oh my god. Oh my god, this song is so good. The song is so good, we've been listening to it on repeat. Oh my god!
We weren't talking about anything.
You fucked it up, dude. It's your fault, you bastard. No, it's funny. It's actually funny. Fucking, what an idiot. Me, not you.
Yeah.
Hold on, the rock music's playing. They can't hear you over the rock music. It's too loud. Oh my god. Is this even rock music? I don't even know. All right, fuck the song. We're good. All right, song's over. Okay, hey, welcome back to the show. You guys missed the first part of the show. It was so hot. It was so fresh. It was so good. The secret has been dropped before the show started. It's all Witchy Cat's fault. She fucked it up. She didn't push the button.
Yes.
I hate to break the news to y'all. But Witchy Cat has stolen the secrets that I was giving out at the beginning of the show, and I can't repeat them now. That's how it goes.
I know.
That's how it goes. But, you know, when we have to talk about certain secrets, there are certain secrets that people are keeping. Okay? Certain secrets that 51% of the population are keeping. It's a secret. We all know it's a secret. We all know that it may or may not be. Oh, wait. I haven't looked at... Oh, hold on. We gotta look this up first. Hold on, guys. Before we get into the secrets, I gotta look this up. We gotta go to the top-rated website here. Hold on.
The top-rated website? OnlyFans? Early?
What OnlyFans? What are you talking about?
Easy.
We're not going to OnlyFans, you fucking goof.
Hey, man.
We're not going to OnlyFans. OnlyFans is a scam. 100%. It's a scam. Don't start posting on OnlyFans. OnlyFans is
Videos?
What?
So did you not get paid for your banana foot mashing video?
I didn't make any banana foot mashing videos, but a friend of mine did.
Oh, really? All right then.
Yeah. I don't know. She gets paid by some people, but it's hilariously funny. Because she's a school teacher somewhere, where I'm not going to tell you where. And so she does an OnlyFans that's just her feet. Because who's going to identify someone's feet?
No moles, no tattoos. It's all good.
Or even it wouldn't matter, you know. I mean, who at your school is looking at your bare feet? And by the way, like if you're a lady, I mean, there's a like if you're a lady, you might want to realize that like maybe you should just wear shoes or foot coverings at all times. Like you probably should, just because who knows? Who knows what freaks are looking at your feet these days? I don't know. I personally think feet are disgusting. So if you're a foot fetish person, just stay the fuck away from me. I don't. That's gross. But feel free to do whatever you like. You know what I'm saying? It's all good. What were we? This is what we were trying to find, but we got distracted because you fucked me up again. If you guys don't realize, that Witchy Cat didn't push the button, and so we missed the first 20 minutes of the show. We were on time. Everybody was on time. Nobody was late. We were broadcasting, and now we don't know what to do with the show because we put all the secrets out earlier.
We did.
You know, and so we're gonna have to go back to the trusty old, the trusty old secret that we all know is either a secret or a myth, and it is the female orgasm, right? And if you want to support the show, and prove to us in private without sending us any kind of documentation that the female orgasm is real, we don't actually need to know anything. But if you go over to this Amazon link right here, it'll help you buy a vibrator from some company that I've never heard of before. It's called a referral link because we're an Amazon affiliate around here. So if you go through our referral link and you go buy shit on Amazon, whether it be a spicy orange vibrator or a imperial purple vibrator, we will get a kickback on all of the crap that you buy on Amazon. So that's why people post Amazon links on stuff. But yeah, if you want to go check out that vibrator, the only thing that you would have to do is at some point let us know if it was a good or bad recommendation, product quality wise. We just need a product quality review. That's all. We don't need to know anything personal experience or anything. Maybe just lie to us and say that you gave it to somebody else. Oh my God, guys! Actually, there's a newer version of this vibrator, as recommended by Amazon. Sorry, don't buy the first one. This is apparently the newer version that is listed at the exact same price. It's not on sale for me because I've never bought a vibrator before. If you guys are aware of how Amazon works nowadays, it saves your information and then it tries to convince you that it's on sale. So I will show you one of the products that I use. It's called the Camelizer, and it doesn't have anything to do with sex or anything like that. But it will show you the price that it has been for the last year. It's a third-party plug-in, and it works actually really well. This product doesn't have any history, so we don't even know if it's ever going to be on sale. Let's find a different product down here in the recommended for you if you're purchasing this. Where is that? Okay, we can't be showing no strap-on dildos. We can't be showing that on YouTube. People will get mad.
That's unfortunate.
Here's one over here. This one's $25.59. It claims that it's on sale. Previously $32.99. Let's use the Camelizer and we'll find out. Nope, it's always been that price. Nope, it has no history. Hold on, we gotta find like a real product, like a regular product. Hey, here's this air filter I was gonna buy. Let's go over and look at this air filter I was gonna buy. If the Camelizer works on that, maybe the Camelizer doesn't camelize on sex products. Maybe I don't know. But these are the guys that sell it. So okay, so highest price is $19.99, or lowest price was $19.99. Current price is $20.99. So, you know, it turns out it's $1 more for this air filter. Am I still going to buy it? Probably, because I need it for my truck, and I sure as shit I'm not paying the mechanic fucking $80 for an air filter when it's $20.99 if I buy it. And by the way, if you haven't put in your own air filters before, it's the easiest thing in the world. So do that. and save yourself the trouble. And by the way, if you buy like a K&N filter or whatever, anytime you go get your oil done, they open up your air filter and then they go like, oh, it's a third-party filter, and then they just have to not even ask you about it. That's one of the big-time upsides to having a third-party air filter in your vehicle, and you go get an oil change. They go, oh, shit, third-party air filter. Okay, I can't even ask them about it. I don't know. Somehow it just shuts them down. They start
gibbering.
I don't know. The grease monkey guys, they're like, oh God, dear Lord, what do we do? Don't ask him about the air filter. He's got his own third-party air filter. Guys. And they just start like, they send out an APB to find a customer that doesn't have a third-party air filter. But my wife at one point accidentally told them, yeah, you should change that filter. And I looked at the receipt, and they charged like $85.99 at like Jiffy Lube or something to change the air filter. And I'm like,
you're fired.
I'm like, babe, you could give me $60 and I'll just change your air filter for you. That's a $20. That actually has a $25 discount, right? Then imagine the savings I would have had. I could have gone and bought a vibrator off of Amazon. But I still don't have the money for it. I got to figure out the savings here and the air filter and the cabin air filter changes for my wife so I could buy her a vibrator. But that doesn't matter. She's menopausal now, so she doesn't need vibrators anymore. TB says LMAO. I don't know who TB is. They have like a weird name. How about the whole Washington Stadium booing Trump? Yeah, actually, if you guys tuned in to the Washington football team commandos, whatever the fuck they're called now, and by the way, if you actually watch the reading of him reading off, by the way, this is how stupid our president is. He can't read.
Any?
Let me see if I can find it. Here it is. This guy. Oh, we need audio, don't we? Both foreign and domestic. Our fucking president of the United States of America doesn't know. He doesn't even know what he swore. By the way, this is the same oath that you swear to be the president, to become the president. It is not complicated. This is not incredibly difficult language to read, like words like acetaminophen, right? Groceries. These aren't like weird, new, fancy words or even old-timey words. But this guy, look at him. Look at him referring. Look at him referring to his notes for this oath. He keeps going back to the paper. To solemnly swear, and has to go back to the paper. Oh, back to the paper. He's reading about the Constitution of the United States like it's the first time he's ever heard of it. Because it's obviously something that he clearly disregards on a daily basis while standing in front of the Declaration of Independence and calling it the Constitution. I don't know if you guys saw that. They have a copy of I don't even know if it's a copy of the Declaration of Independence. I believe it's one of the Declaration of Independence in the White House hanging up on the wall. And they kept calling it the Constitution. Him and fucking Pam Bondi, who's supposedly the leader of our Department of Justice. Don't even know what the Constitution is. They can't even read off a simple oath. He doesn't even have this simple oath memorized because he's a brain-rotted fucking sociopath, right? Narcissistic sociopath. He's only in it for the money. And one of the things that I wanted to talk today was, I state your name is when he was supposed to state his name. Yeah, but he was reading it. He was reading out. He was reading out the oath for some. I don't know if it was Marines or Army or Navy or whoever. Some armed forces were swearing. He was swearing them in, right? But yeah, he's a fucking idiot. He's a fucking idiot. By the way, you're supposed to, yes, say your name there when you read it off for them. Yes. You wouldn't say, I state your name, right? You would, if you were Donald Jerome Trump or Donald Jeremy Trump or Donald, what's his middle name? Josefe or something? Donald Jose Trump? I don't know, whatever. If you're that guy, you would just say your name because there's no problem with doing the same oath that you've already sworn an oath to, right? Why would it be a problem for you to say the same oath that you've already said? Or like when these dipshit conservatives go on to fucking Fox News to tell people about how obviously we're a Christian nation because when you swear an oath, you swear an oath on the Bible when you swear an oath to things. And even the Fox News guy has to go like, you could choose whatever you want. It could be the Torah. It could be the fucking. It could be an empty book of pages. It could just be a notebook. It could be anything. You can swear on anything. It doesn't matter. He's like, but I swore on a Bible. And like, you chose the Bible, you fucking dipshit. Like, it's your choice. But my reasoning behind to clearly state, I am 100% opposed to this bullshit idea at this point right now that we are going to all start shit talking the Democrats for being spineless. Okay? You need to take that. You need to take whatever fucking imaginary rage you have. I want you to take whatever imaginary rage you have that you're currently going to direct at air quote Chuck Schumer and the Democrats, right? I want you to take that rage and I want you to redirect it at the jabronis, otherwise known as the Donald Jabroni Trump Party. Because I am currently seeing a ton of content from progressives, from lefties, from moderates, from conservative Democrats, from all of everybody that somehow all the spineless Democrats gave up because they have decided that voting for the continued resolution to keep to reopen the government is currently in the best interest of the American people, who, by the way, is us. Okay? How long are you going to allow groups of people that do not have access to food to go hungry? How long are you going to allow that to happen? Because the 42 million people that are on SNAP benefits right now don't have charitable organizations backing them up. That's why they're on SNAP. That's why they're receiving SNAP benefits, right? It's bad enough for those people as is, right? It has been, 39, 40 days? This is the longest American government shutdown ever, all time. This is the longest amount of time that the FAA has gone without pay. Hundreds of thousands of federal workers, all of the civil service workers have been either furloughed or without pay or having to move on to whole new jobs after, likely committing to a career of civil service, which, with tomorrow being Veterans Day, like one of my grandfathers was a veteran and went into civil service. And one of the reasons that he was in civil service is that he didn't want to continue to be in the military, but he did want to continue to serve the American people. And so he did that for his remaining he did the Navy for 8 years and then civil service for upwards of like 18, almost 20 years before he went into the private sector, but after the fact. And just to imagine that, like, my grandfather, who raised 3 kids on a civil servant salary, working for this country, and to working for the betterment of this country, and then to be like without even a paycheck for 40 days, right? That would have been absolutely catastrophic, right? And there are at least 42 million people that are receiving SNAP benefits currently that are making not enough money to fucking survive, right? And we're just going to put more and more burden on them. I don't know how many times I consistently hear people say that Americans, what's the percentage of Americans that can't handle a $500 emergency? I'm going to look up that stat. Maybe Witchy Cat knows it off the top of her fucking dome piece. I don't know.
I just know that I'm one of them. So.
Percent. Jesus, I need to be able to type. Percent. Oh, no, I was typing correctly. U.S. Handle a 500. Here we go. Here's our first one, our first story. According to a new Bankrate report that surveyed more than 1,000 U.S. adults about their ability to handle a surprise bill, despite the country's current low unemployment rate, the annual study found that 59% of Americans in 2025 don't have enough savings to cover an unexpected $1,000 emergency expense. We are essentially a paycheck-to-paycheck nation. Yeah, this is January 23rd, 2025, so we're fairly recent on this result. Seems to have been last year. Let's go with how many Americans can't afford a $400 emergency. The numbers may shock you. This one is from Investopedia. More than a third of Americans said they couldn't cover a sudden $400 expense with cash or cash equivalents. Well, that's over 100 million people, by the way. If a third sounds weird to you, that's 100 million people in the United States couldn't cover a sudden $400 expense. So the reason I bring all this up is that I want everybody that watches this show or watches this show later on. I know most of you watch it later. You don't watch it fucking live. So I want you to take out your notebook and I want you to write down a note. You blaming the Democrats for this shutdown right now and posting about it on every fucking social media app that you use is absolutely only going to fucking harm your cause, okay? And I want to explain to you quickly the reason why. The current Republican Party that is holding the majority in the House, the Senate, the White House, the Supreme Court, those conservatives do not, will not, cannot give a shit about your well-being. They do not care one iota about all of the hundreds of millions of people that live in this country. After 40 days, how long was the shutdown? 40 days or 39 days? Shutdown length currently. Today's the 40th day, right? Yeah. It's 40th day. It's not even back open yet. So the government is still shut down. But currently the narrative is that the Democrats have no spine, right? The reality is that while I differ on a lot of things with the Democrats and would argue with them regularly about things, if we were having an argument, we'd be having an argument in good faith. Like, if I sat down with Chuck Schumer and said, I want abortions for every human. I want abortions for men. I want abortions for women. I want abortions. If you're a human, I just want you to have free abortions whenever you want them all the time. Doesn't matter. 1,000 a day. I don't give a shit. Who gives a fuck? Whatever. Let's say that was my stance. It's not, but whatever. let's say that was my stance, and then Chuck Schumer, like, you know, he pushes up his glasses because they're falling. You know, if I had, I have a pair of glasses here. Like, so Chuck Schumer's got his glasses down here, and he's going like this, you know, and then he's like, whoa, 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 hey, bucko, that's too many abortions, okay? That's too many abortions for everybody. I don't know, I'm kind of doing a Bernie Sanders thing there, whatever. If we were going to have that debate, we would be having that debate in good faith. I would be having a debate with a fellow human who understands human needs and just human emotions and economic structures and how gravity works, how fucking, you know what I'm saying? I would be having an actual debate or conversation or a back and forth with somebody. Now, if I sit down and have that same debate with Mike Johnson, who will just tell me, I don't know, I haven't looked into that. I don't know, I haven't heard anything about that. I don't know. I don't know. I haven't heard anything about that. We're just, I've been on vacation since September 19th, and I'm just going to go take another vacation. I'll see. I haven't heard anything about that. I don't know. Right? I would be having a debate with an absolute fucking demon-possessed ghoul, likely from another plane of existence. Okay? I'd be having arguments with somebody who doesn't believe in human rights for anybody. They don't believe in anything. They don't give a shit. The only thing that they care about is lining their pockets with piles and piles of cash on the skulls of fucking dead Americans, dead Venezuelans, dead Russians, Ukrainians, Chinese, whatever. Go down the list. They're like, how many skulls can I stack up so that I can fucking put money into my bank account? Or actually, so I can put more money into my Scrooge McDuck pool of fucking coins that I go swimming around in. While if you're specifically Mike Johnson, apparently his son monitors his masturbating via his cell phone. They have an app where they can keep an eye on each other, whether or not they're looking up pornography and jacking off. Which, by the way, who gives a shit if somebody is jacking off? It's natural. Right? It's a natural human thing to masturbate. You have sexual needs. Not a problem. Why would you enforce your sexual needs on somebody else? Why would you enforce some imaginary thing that there's like a ghost in the sky who gives a shit if you ejaculate or masturbate? What are we talking about? And by the way, why are you talking about it when you're the goddamn Speaker of the House and supposedly like an evangelical, right? How about just shut the fuck up and go live in your church, you fucking freak? It's insane. But I'm saying that after 40 days, Chuck Schumer and all these other, you know, I have lots of problems with Chuck Schumer, okay? I don't agree with that guy on a bunch of shit. But after 40 days, the Democrats have come to the realization that the Republicans that are in power currently in office do not give a fuck about you and will leave the government shut for eternity. They don't care. They don't care if you starve to death. They don't care if you have an MRI that has a shadow in the MRI and you're worried that you have cancer. They don't give a fuck if your car has a problem. They don't give a fuck about you. They don't give a fuck about anybody except themselves. That's it. And after 40 days, the Democrats have come to a realization that, like, we're in a holdout with somebody who has a bunker and a ton of cash, and they don't care. Right? And if they continue this, the only thing that is going to happen is that the government is still just going to be closed. The current administration is just going to extract money from wherever they feel like it. They're spending money illegally already, right? They're appropriating money illegally. They're utilizing money that's appropriated for other things. In fact, the Trump administration is back at the Supreme Court arguing the fact that they don't have to pay out SNAP, right? The Supreme Court already told them that they had to pay out SNAP. And now they're back appealing that decision, right? They've returned to the Supreme Court, paying lawyers and shit to argue that they don't have to pay SNAP benefits. They're back doing it, right? The Democrats are arguing with fucking demon-possessed ghouls, okay? I don't have a better way to describe it, okay? You remember the girl in The Exorcist, right? Her head's spinning around and she's vomiting all over the place, and the guy's like throwing the holy water on it, whatever. Like that's who you're negotiating with. Man, I would put a gigantic air quotes around negotiating. There is no negotiating. Those guys are all on vacation. They're all out at fucking whorehouses and bars and throwing giant parties at Donald Trump's house in Florida. On Friday, what was Friday's menu at? What do you think? Menu at Mar-a-Lago last Friday night.
It was probably better than ours, whatever ours was. What did I eat today?
Oh, look at how fucking bullshit these goddamn headlines even are at this point. Trump attends another extravagant party at Mar-a-Lago as thousands hit food banks amid shutdown. What do you mean Trump attends another party? He's throwing the party. He's throwing the party. He's hosting the party. Yet, Trump attends another party at his fucking, $1 million golf club, right? They apparently had a 3-course menu of beef fillet, truffle dauphinois. I don't even know what that is. What is truffle dauphinois? Can we look that up? There's a hyperlink here.
Yeah, you're the cook. You should know what that is.
I don't know. I don't speak French, okay? So, I don't know. There's a hyperlink here.
Don't understand.
How do you even spell that? Truffle daff. Oh, they spelled it wrong even on the Independent. The article I was reading. Let's see. Oh, do you want to know why do you want to know why you don't know what dauphinois is?
I would love to know why I'm
It's
stupid.
because it's scalloped potatoes, you fucking freaks.
Oh.
You fucking assholes. You goddamn fucking dick balls, fucking shit fuck, cock ass dick butt. You fucks. It's a goddamn gratine, man. It's not whatever dauphinois is. You fucking goddamn it. Fucking fuck. Scalloped potatoes with truffles in it. So how can you make scalloped potatoes more ridiculous? You just put a shitload of truffles in it. But here actually is a great image of your boy, your favorite guy, right here. This is pretty good. You'll have to look this up. California Governor Gavin Newsom once again posted this AI-generated image of Donald Trump as Marie Antoinette on Friday. Let them eat cake. You know. Anyhow, so my point was, but we get sidetracked because we have to look things up because we're not fucking stupid here on this show. Whatever the show is called. Is this show called The Show? It might be called The Show, I think.
It's a show.
Live. It's called Live, where we talk about vibrators and other things. Where was the rest of their menu? Okay, so we went down the truffle scalloped potatoes. It's a casserole, Sheila. Where's their full menu? So they had truffle scalloped potatoes. They had scallops, seared scallops, and filet mignon on Friday at their... how much were they charging per plate? Because they have these parties where they charge $1 million for people to come have dinner at Mar-a-Lago with the president.
I really like that.
Apparently Jason Aldean was there. Whoever these fucking greasy looking bitches are, I don't know who these freaks are. Martha Bonetta. Ugh.
Sounds like a really bad country. It's a greasy looking bitch.
Oh, by the way, that's some fucking shitty looking catering, though. I will say, it does not look that great.
It won't do well after a few minutes off the grill.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be honest with you. Like this is the kind of shit that like old people eat. You know, like show me the actual food. Where is the actual food? All I can see out of the food is a morning pick me up, a Mar-a-Lago latte with what looks like a fucking chocolate biscotti, but it's got a one of those sugar crystal stir sticks. Have you ever seen these things before? You ever seen these? It's a stir stick that is just it's like a lollipop's worth of sugar crystals on it. Does this play? Or is this just an image of somebody's Instagram? Okay. Anyhow, these disgusting freaks. I don't know. I got sidetracked from making fun of these freaks. But more to the point, to circle back to the point, is that if you think the Democrats are failing, I will refer you to last week, where people realize that supposedly a bunch of people voted for Donald Trump. So, and I say that supposedly, right? I'm believing it less and less at this point. I'm believing it less and less that the voter tolls, or the voter tallies, the voter totals, the vote totals, Jesus, the tallied votes, the total tallied votes. There we go. Is that correct? I don't know.
There you go.
From the 2024 election are accurate at all. I am feeling more and more 90% assured that those vote totals have been doctored. One way or another. One way or another. There is currently a lawsuit that is headed up to be seen in the Supreme Court. And I'm interested to see it once it actually makes its way up to that court. Where is it right now? Lawsuit advances to... Which court is it in right now? Which court is it in right now? I have to figure out where it is here. But one of the reasons we get sidetracked on this show is because we actually look things up, right? If we encounter something like potato dauphinoise, otherwise known as scalloped potatoes, we go look it up. Because at the very least, the next time we see the dauphinoise, we know it is thinly sliced potatoes with cream and cheese and salt and garlic and probably some more cheese layered into a casserole and baked. Okay? It's scalloped potatoes. It's what you would expect from your grandma, except they put a bunch of white truffles in it, which cost, what, $400?
A shave?
Per gram? I think it's $400 a gram. Shit, we gotta look it up. White truffle current price. Because I think it was like $1,600. I think it was like $1,600 for 4 of them.
Are they more expensive than black truffles or less?
Oh, they're way more expensive than black. Yeah.
Okay.
Black truffles can be afforded by regular humans if it's something that you really are interested in.
Okay.
I don't know this website, and I don't know if I trust this website. No, I don't know. I don't trust that. Let's see. Oh, GFS? Yeah, GFS has better prices. Here, $8,397 per pound.
Wow.
Yeah. That is $503 per ounce. So a little 1 ounce guy, little 1 ounce Wang Janglers, $500. Whereas black truffle, well, let's just stay on GFS and see if we can't find it. Oh my God, somebody just burped. I ate some weird nonsense. I put some cheese on some tortillas, and then I put Asian chili crisp and soy sauce and peanut butter on it. It's giving me some burps. I mean, I'm like, I don't know what this lunch was, but if anybody knows anything about me, I buy big bulk packs of burrito tortillas. Sorry, I was gonna make an inappropriate joke. Anyhow, oh shit, the search won't let me in. Okay, there we go. Black truffle. But I buy the bulk burrito tortillas. And then more often than not at lunch, I just put like peanut butter. I think we actually have some almond butter right now. Peanut butter or almond butter or whatever nut butter, you know what I'm talking about. Nut butter, right. And then other stuff on the tortilla, and then I just eat it. Like, I roll it up and eat it like a to-go sandwich. I eat that all the time. These are the fresh black burgundy truffles. So these guys are only $800 a pound. $50 an ounce. So certainly not affordable this way. If I think if the poors wanted to eat some black truffle, we want to find. Yeah, here we go. Brushed first choice. Are these the right ones? Like, if you're a poor like me and you want to have some black truffle, like, this is kind of the route to go. So what you'd want to find is something like this. When the fresh truffle season ends, yes, a dark day indeed in the kitchens around the world, we're thankful that there's an alternative to get our truffle fix. Enter preserved truffles. Summer truffles will not be very striking out of the jar and will need to be heated up or cooked to bring out the flavors. Best used in hot dishes like risottos, omelets, and mashed potatoes. The heat of the dish itself will help bring out the aroma, and an even more successful way to enhance the dish would be to add as well some truffle oil. Butter or truffle paste. Oils and butters are usually more aromatic than canned truffles and can preserve the fragrance of the dish longer. Preserved truffles are a nice budget-friendly way to add visual truffle appeal to dishes. And this is the way to do it. Eugenio Brezzi makes a tartufi estufi, which is a preserved truffle, and I believe this is in an oil. This is a 7-ounce can. It costs $14. Okay. Yes, you are paying for the oil. Yes, you are paying for the can. But it is generally accessible to the average human like myself if you were like, that's something that I wanted to do. Needless to say, to give you an idea of what, when they say, oh, we made scalloped potatoes with white fucking truffles, you get what I'm saying now? You get what I'm saying? Like, the price point is beyond your comprehension. The truffles going in there is more than the average American can handle in an emergency right now, you know? They have some weird kinks. Alyssa Bentlou, otherwise known as Mangala 666, says they have some weird kinks, and that's true. Chrissy says truffles are so overrated. I don't believe that they are, but it's really, really, really like application dependent. It really is. And when you go too far, it overwhelms the table. It definitely overwhelms the palate of your customers, your clientele, your people that are eating your food. So like one of the more interesting things that you'll find in sort of high-end restaurant work is that, say you have four humans eating at one table, and let's just go off the menu that we were making fun of. One person orders the scallops, two people order petite filet, one person orders the scalloped potatoes with the truffle, and it's obviously baked, and it's very aromatic. And when you drop the plates on the table, aka do a proper presentation, blah blah blah, give the food to these bitches, right? What's you're eventually going to end up happening is you're going to start to notice a strange trend. You're going to start to notice a strange trend from those tables where you have one truffle dish hitting the table. You're going to start to figure out that the rest of the people at the table are essentially getting truffled out. Like the scallop person is going to think that they got scallops with truffle. The petite filet people are going to start tasting that their food has truffle in it. They're going to start wondering what's going on. And if you are a particular type of customer, you're going to start thinking like, wait a minute, there's some kind of fungi thing happening around here, and I'm going to start voicing my opinion to the service staff, and then the service staff's going to come back to the kitchen, and they're going to come talk to me, and I'm going to fucking lose my mind, okay, for a short period of time. And then I'm going to come out to the floor, and I'm going to fucking talk to stupid-ass rich people who all I want to do is flip the table over and tell their cunt faces to get the fuck out of here. Let some poor people in and feed them petite filet, right? You know. And then your rage will boil up from inside your body, right? And you'll decide to do something else with your career. Because you realize making $18 an hour to serve $300 plates to assholes is a crock of fucking shit. A big crock of shit. It's a big crock that you fill up instead of French onion soup. Like you make a French onion soup from scratch. Instead of filling it up with that, it's a big crock filled with human excrement, and then they put the cheese over top of it. They put it up in the oven, they bake it up, and then they give it to you, and they go like, congratulations, chef, here you go. Take that home and pay your mortgage with it. And you're like, I don't think the bank takes this as currency. And they're like, that's cool. I'm a restaurant owner. I'm going to go do a bunch of cocaine now. That's basically how it goes. If you're interested. If you want to be a chef someday, just prepare yourself for what I just told you about. Go do and get ready for it. You're also going to smell bad all the time. Dogs will like to try and eat your dirty laundry. Your dirty laundry will smell in a very distinct way. All of your dirty laundry will smell a very distinct smell. So then you're going to start putting your dirty laundry as far away from where you sleep as humanly possible. Your chef coats and everything will be likely laundered by the company that you work for. Aprons will really depend on how fancy the restaurant is. If it's super, super fancy restaurant, they won't provide aprons for you, so you're going to have to end up buying aprons yourself, which means that you're going to have to drive way out of the city, or you're going to have to go to a part of the city where it feels normal to you because you're constantly in a state of it being in a knife fight, like pretty much, 80 hours a week while you're at work. So you have to go to a part of the city where you're just, the knife fight is continued. Like you go, to try to get into the place, you're in a knife fight. To get out of the place, you have to knife fight your way through the parking lot. It's great. In order to buy aprons that will be fancy enough for the fancy restaurant that you work at, but you'll have to own them yourself, and then you'll have to mend them. So you have to learn how to deal with sewing stuff, or in my case, you find a girl that really enjoys your, I don't know how to describe this, sexual interaction. It's like when you take a paintbrush and you run it through this, you make a finger hole like this, and it's like this. It's like that, right? But she's really into having sewing machines and shit, or whatever the fuck that means. And then she will fix them for you. So you could do that. If you're a girl, then you just have to find one that I don't have any way to describe it, but it has to do with scissors. I don't know. You know what I'm talking about, right? You'd have to find that, and then she'll fix them for you. You're also going to have to find somebody that fixes your knives for you, preferably somebody who's, I don't know, like a burgeoning blacksmith or something to return the edge to your knives, because if you allow the guy who sharpens the knives he shows up in a van. He shows up in a van and they charge you like $6 a knife. They will completely fuck all of your $300, $400, $500 knives up, and you might as well just throw them in the trash after that. Yeah, it's a very admirable career. It really is, And then at any point in time where you deal with anybody if you deal with anybody in your life, which you will have very little, will have very, very little social life with normal people, right? Because you are working whenever normal people are ever doing anything, right? If they're having Thanksgiving dinner, you're fucking working. If you're having Valentine's Day dinner, you're working and serving those people. If there's a St. Patrick's Day, a 4th of July, a Christmas, fucking New Year's, if there's if there's a barbecue, somebody's having a big barbecue in the summer and it's not the 4th of July, but they're like, yeah, dude, Saturday, man, come out. We're having a big barbecue. We're going to get all these people together. It's going to be great. We're going to have a great time. The weather's going to be fucking awesome, whatever. You're going to be like, yeah, I'll be in the kitchen all fucking day. I'll show up at 2 in the morning. Will you guys still be out there barbecuing at 2 in the morning? And they'll be like, yeah, no, I don't. What are you talking about? So then you won't be able to show up to that. Your kids will have birthdays. You won't be able to show up to the kids' birthdays. Your wife will have a birthday. You'll have a birthday. You won't be able to show up for your own birthday. You won't be there. You'll be in the kitchen. You'll be doing that. Yeah, it's cool, man. It's a great career. And by the way, whenever you do run into somebody at a social event that isn't a restaurant worker or whatnot, they'll be like, hey, what do you do? And you're like, oh, I'm a head chef down at this restaurant and this other restaurant. Yeah, I run those too. And they're like, oh my God, that's awesome, dude. What's your favorite thing to cook?
Peanut butter and jelly sandwiches.
Spotted dick. Tortilla with peanut butter on it and some chili sauce. It's called fusion, dude. We're bringing fusion back. We're putting peanut butter. We're putting peanut butter from the South, right? We're putting it on flour tortillas, which aren't just a space invention. Who the fuck knows where flour tortillas come from? Then we're putting chili sauce on it from hold on, it's chili crisp is Chinese, right? Let's check. Chili crisp. Oh my God, where is it from? Momofuku. I like the Momofuku one. That's kind of my favorite one. Where's Momofuku from? Where you made? Where you made, you bitch? Where you at? We need to see the label. Fuck your couch, dude. Fuck your couch. Oh, there we go. It's loading. Okay.
Are you advising someone to go JD Vance on a couch?
Am I inviting somebody? Somebody can go. They can do that if they want. If they own the couch, because they have consent, right? If they own it, they're the one that provide the consent for the couch fucking. Don't fuck someone else's couch, okay? No one wants your jizz on their couch. I can say that with just absolute authority. Szechuan, yeah. So, or Sichuan, yeah. So that's Chinese. So we take peanut butter from the South. We take flour tortillas from outer space. We take the chili sauce from China. We get that soy sauce. From China. Then what else do we put on there? We put butter on there. So we put butter on there from England? No, we gotta look that up. Where did butter originate? Butter originated accidentally, likely in ancient Africa or Central Asia around 8,000 BC. It's always so funny. It's always so funny when you get something like that. Like 8,000 BC, so like 10,000 years ago, somebody was milking some teats, collecting the juice, and accidentally made butter.
Shook it up, running away from something, and butter appeared.
And somebody was probably going to stab them in the eyes, and J.D. Vance their bodies, right?
Or try to eat them, you know.
Or they're gonna Trump style grab them by the pussy. I was actually thinking that we would watch the Donald Jabroni Trump deposition from the E. Jean Carroll sexual assault case, because I think a lot of people haven't watched the whole thing. Because there's definitely decided a lot of very interesting parts in there, where he explains that E. Jean Carroll thought rape was sexy. He also is confused over who E. Jean Carroll is in the pictures of him and his wife. And E. Jean Carroll, he doesn't know which one is his wife or E. Jean Carroll. What's that? Yeah. What were you saying?
I said, yeah, I remember reading that one.
Yeah, there's that. Well, you can watch the video. He's like, well, that's my wife right there. And they're like, no, that's E. Jean Carroll. He's like, oh, maybe the other lady's my wife. Yeah. Just Skog says, as a dishwasher for 4 years, I can confirm the smell bad. Very bad. Yes, correct. I was correct. Everything I said was correct. And all of the restaurant owners are whacked out on cocaine. That's also correct. There are a bunch of coke wafers who try to sleep with their hostesses. And if you aren't familiar with what a hostess is, they're the very, very young ladies that are essentially hoping to become a waitress or a bartender someday. And that's who the owners are always prowling around, like Trump-style pussy grabbers, right? I can say that. I mean, you guys are cool with the president saying that shit, so whatever. I can say what I want, right?
If he remembers what a pussy is.
Oh, I'm sure he remembers what it is. Yeah, I don't doubt that. He doesn't remember his oath to the Constitution, or he doesn't know what groceries are, but...
or who he's burdened.
I'm sure he remembers grabbing pussy. I don't know. Chat's being quiet again today. Why is chat being so quiet? I don't know. We do have to check our Amazon affiliate. Oh, yeah. If somebody was wondering, I have a more regular thing that you could go click through right here. Just in case somebody watches your search history, which, by the way, they're watching everybody's search history. You're not going to get away from it. You're not going to get away. Okay? Palantir is watching you right now. If you wanted a more standard issue link, you could click that link, and it'll take you into what looks to be an amazing, lovely blue plaid with some brown plaid shirt. And I bought a different variation of this shirt. It was actually really nice. It's flannel. It's nice and warm. It's got buttons. It's got snaps. It's got pockets. It's got a collar. You know, if you wear this around the right person, you might get laid. That's all I'm saying. You might.
And you
Who
don't
knows?
need the other.
So buy a shirt or don't buy a shirt, or buy a vibrator or don't buy a vibrator. I don't care. Actually, the whole reason I've been talking about vibrators on this live stream is because, first off, it makes people uncomfortable. So the evangelicals just go away because if I start talking about ladies' vibrators or orgasms or whatever, they just go away. They start crying and peeing their pants and shitting all over themselves, which is good. I feel like more evangelicals should
cry.
shit their pants, cry, and piss all over themselves daily, actually. I think they need to up it to daily from weekly. I think it would be a better life choice for them. And it would be better for the rest of us. So we would know to just stay the fuck away from you. That we would want no association with the shit piss crybabies. It would be much easier for us to just be like, is that a sane person? Nope, it's not. All right, I'm going over here.
Because we're going to just go. That's not a great.
But about a year ago, there was a study that was done, and I was listening to the person who was breaking down the study. And the study was revolving around Gen Alpha and Gen Z. And the unique part that they're seeing right now between the newest generation in the United States and in other developed parts of the world, of course, because of the patriarchy, we're going to constantly hear about the manosphere and these red-pilled fucking jackwagon dudes. What's that guy? Tate. What's his name? Andrew Tate type characters. Nick Fuentes and his incel goons and whatnot. That because of the patriarchy, we're going to constantly hear about those men's loneliness, because those men and their loneliness, it essentially leads to violence. That's the easiest way to explain it, is that those men all get lonely, so they become violent. They become violent. They become emotionally violent. They become verbally violent. And then eventually they become physically violent, right? And then, oh shit, there's a news story about it. So then they become newsly violent. Then there's a news story about it, and then we all got to hear about it. And then we all are supposed to be like, oh, wow, 22-year-old man buys gun, drives into a crowd, shoots people, blah, 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 whatever, right?
Shocking.
And one of the biggest reasons that seems to be the case nowadays is that in the past, those guys used to turn into Ted Bundy, right? Those guys used to isolate helpless people and murder them over and over again until eventually they get caught. And we go, oh my God, serial killers, what the fuck, right? But nowadays, with the technology, now that you have Palantir Ring cameras, cameras on people's cars, camera on people's pockets, first off, it's clear that Bigfoot's not real. Second of all, being a serial killer is incredibly difficult to do because you're going to be on camera somewhere, right? You're going to get busted. So instead of having a serial killer, we just have these singular killers and then these mass murderers, right? Some of these people go on sprees, mass killings, whatever you want to call them. Those are the guys that used to be Ted Bundy. And they would drive around and they would lure people into their Volkswagen Bug. It's no mystery why Ted Bundy drove a Volkswagen Bug. It's a big shout out to his boy Adolf Hitler, right?
Yep.
And that's what they used to do. Nowadays, they get busted. They get busted and they can't do their serial killing. So a lot of them turn into spree killers. Now, I, at the time, was like, oh my God, and really looked into it until I got to a point where I was like, I feel like I already am uniquely able to understand some of the insights towards these dudes. And the reason I point that out is that I am a middle-aged white dude who grew up in the United States of America. So I already have the genetics, the biology, the whatever you want to point towards. I'm like, I already have like a lived experience to kind of understand where these dudes are coming from, right? Where they'd be like, I'm a groiper now, or I'm a TPU USA guy now, who, by the way, I categorize in the same group. They are the same. They are the exact same people. They are in the same group. They are one and the same. Different shades of the exact same thing, you know? You wouldn't ever argue that a brown toad is like more brown than the other brown toad, or the tree frog is more tree frog than the other tree frog, because the shades are a little different. Yeah, TPUSA and the groipers, same group of people, just different shades, right? Just different shades of the same group. So in starting to understand that I'm like, all right, I already have some insight into this group of the dudes that are doing this shit. I am going to get more interested in the people that I do not have a direct biological link to, and that would be the females of the group, to try and understand where the females are coming from. And sort of one of the weird things that I noticed was one of two things. From listening to a bunch of the polled groups, which they record their audio and then they anonymously maintain it. Listening through the audio tapes, listening through the interviews, listening through some of the study stuff that I was able to get to, reading some of the articles, reading some of the study, and reading some of the sort of conjective results that they're coming up with, to sort of hypothesize a new idea in which to work off of, because that's how science works. One of the things that I was realizing that there's essentially, and this really is kind of a rude way to like pigeonhole it, right? But this is kind of the way I see it. It's not 100% accurate or not, but it's kind of the way I see it. There does seem to be two groups of females. There's one group that I would put into the definitely more political leaning in the direction of myself. Now, that group of people, that group of young ladies, women, however you want to refer to it, all seem to be in the group of, while I would enjoy having a spouse of some kind, it just doesn't seem to be necessary at this point. Like, it doesn't seem like a necessary component for them to like have a life, right? That seems to be their opinion. They're like, well, it would be cool to have a spouse. It's certainly not required, because the female groups are providing most of the, if not all, of the societal interaction and like relationship on the psychological side, I guess, or the psycho-emotional side, is being done by their group of friends, right? Like all that interacting and everything that they're hoping for the social side of it is all happening within their friend group, right? Like they have support, they have arguments, they have congratulatory moments, they have sad moments, they have happy moments. Like they're going through all those moments, but with their female group of friends, right? And then when it comes down to the other side of things, like the physical satisfaction, is that like, I would say you probably have one or two sort of fumbly, terrible interactions with some young dudes who are way over aggressive and have been listening to fucking Charlie Kirk for 5 years, right? There's like, wait a minute, I can just buy a vibrator like the guy on that show. What's the show called? The show's called The Show, right? Isn't that what it's called? The Show, the live stream. They're like, oh, I saw a recommendation. And it turns out that the sexual side is pretty much being gratified by on that end. And so they're receiving their social side of things and their physical side of things are pretty well like handled. And then they're also having a professional career, right? So their financial side of things is generally being taken care of to an extent that they would sort of expect, right? They're receiving college degrees at a much higher rate than dudes are. It's something like 69%. We'll just say 69% because, ayo, right? Let's see. College degrees to the ladies. Women have been earning more college degrees than men for several decades, a trend that is particularly pronounced in certain fields. Well, where's the actual percentage? Women dominate in certain fields. Women earn the vast majority of degrees in health professionals, public administration, and education. U.S. women have outpaced men in bachelor's degree competition for completion for decades. So since 1995, it was 25% of 25 to 35-year-olds with a bachelor's degree was an even split, and women have outpaced men 47% to 37%. Oh, yeah. The share of young women with a bachelor's degree has increased by 22 percentage points since 1995, from 25% to 47%. Over the same period, men have seen a similar increase, 12 points from 25 to 37. So the women are receiving professional training. They're going into likely higher earning potential professional careers. They could buy vibrators off of Amazon, and a lot of their social interaction and whatnot that they're looking for is almost always coming from their female group, right? Young men, on the other hand, are doing shitty jobs. So their financial reward is much lower. So they're not going to financially be able to pursue women, right? Like if they're already earning their own money, let's say they're making $38 an hour and you're making $20 an hour, right? Like, are you going to be like, hey, check out my Toyota Corolla, hey, right? Like, you're not representing yourself as some sort of financial boon, right? In fact, like, if somebody is like heavily educated, they might think like, wow, really marrying a blue collar guy actually might be a financial deficit because he probably doesn't have health insurance. He's not earning a shitload of money. He runs a much higher risk of chronic disease and injury, right? So somebody that's really educated might think like, well, that guy's not really like a viable mate, even though he might be just fine, might be no problems, right? Then on the sexual side of it, like most of these young men, they really only have an understanding of sex from watching fucking Pornhub, right? Like, they're watching pornography on TV or on the internet. They're watching videos of people having sex, right? They're watching videos of professional people having sex. They're watching professional people who are completely waxed across the entirety of their bodies in perfect lighting have...
You're getting a way wrong narrative.
Well, I mean, they're having the absolute most outrageous type of sex that you could possibly have, realistically, right? I mean, the expectation that some of these young guys have is that a girl is going to go reverse cowgirl up into the air for 20 minutes straight. Right. You're like,
Right.
you have to be quite the gymnast to even attempt that maneuver, right? Like, and for the longevity of what are we talking about here, right? Like how long? You know, people freak the fuck out that you got to do a 4-minute plank, right? People freak out that you got to do a wall sit for 20 minutes or for 2 minutes. Sorry, not 20 minutes. You gonna do jumping jacks for half an hour straight, nonstop? So one of the biggest issues there is that like these young men have like no idea what they're doing going into a sexual experience, right? Because they're just watching shit on the internet. Their financial side sucks, and their social side, it ain't good. It ain't good. Men are particularly ineffective at supporting other men, right? Most men are sort of trained that it's a dog eat dog, right?
Right.
And then we're wondering, like, hey, why aren't these people getting along? You know? And you start to look at all those inputs and you kind of go like, there's definitely some lacking here. And, you know, as a guy with a daughter who had a birthday over the weekend, I also kind of think about these things because I'm like, well, she's basically going to grow up into a world where on one hand, she has a lot more advantages than any other generation for sure. But who's to know because of AI and the fact that our financial system is completely in a stranglehold by a few oligarchs, right? That's not good. Holy shit, is that Jeffro? Jeffro's here.
Bro.
Is that Jeff Rose with a Z? It is. How long has it been since Jeff Rose uploaded a video? 4 years ago. I get it.
Right.
God damn, man! How many videos did did Jeff Rose upload? That's really a question.
I could hear the question mark at the.
Oh, that's right. I forgot. Jeff Rose got swatted.
Oh no.
Completely forgot about that. What do you mean? Oh no.
Fuck.
No, that's oh no. He was during a live stream. Yeah, it's not good. Should I stop live streaming on YouTube? Oh yeah, he was asking questions back then. 6 years ago. No, I think you should have kept doing it. I think Jeffro's got married and has a new kid, I think. Another kid or not? Maybe.
Well, congratulations.
I think so. What's going on around here? I don't know. My daughter just turned 7 and the country is collapsing. So, yeah, who knows? Emails. Oh my God. Customer emails coming in. We should delete those.
Think an email.
Where... Reaver was asking, anybody know where to find the metal brass aquarium airline fittings with a thread on one end for air manifolds can be found? Having troubles finding some. I want to try fixing some whisper air pumps with the broken off nozzles. I got all mine on Amazon. I also got mine on Amazon. That kind of was the best place to put it, or to find them. To put it, it was the best place to find them. Looks like Alyssa shared the Pawfly air control valves link. Yeah, and I think I think those are even the ones that I may or may not have ordered. The Pawfly sounds super familiar. Yeah, it was probably them. Where's my order history?
Don't understand.
I don't know. Maybe I didn't order these. Payment, customer service. I don't know. Maybe I never did order those. I think, as a lot of people know, I just have completely eliminated most of the air pump stuff from all of my tanks. The one I have running is it's actually just a skimmer for a saltwater aquarium, and it runs in a sump, and it's just doing it on a freshwater tank. So it's basically just a fancy overpriced aerator.
Okay.
What? What?
I was acknowledging your comment.
What?
Huh?
What?
What?
What'd you say?
I didn't say that.
What'd you say? What are you doing?
Shopping.
What's going on there? Huh? What? Now I'm on to air pumps. Gotta stop looking at air pumps. We don't need any air pumps.
Nope, because you don't have any air things there, so no.
You did what now? What'd you do?
That does not know.
You don't know?
I don't know what I've done.
You don't know what I've done.
From
What?
this week's crazy news.
What? I don't know. Chat stopped talking, so I'm stopping talking. I'm just gonna sit here and
Yeah, well, that's not helpful.
email people back. What? What?
So, dude,
What's that? Hello?
such a good. Hello?
Hello?
Wow?
Hello? Yeah?
How long do you think they're going to keep pushing this? Do you think that we're going to make it to Christmas?
Pushing what?
The shutdown. Don't they normally go off on a break pretty early in December for Christmas?
Oh, they will. So, if you want my crystal ball says, if you want my crystal ball, Mike Johnson will convene on Wednesday, reconvene. They will push the CR through, which actually stands for the continuing resolution, which is what the Republicans have wanted this whole time, is just continue the budget. Continue the unmolested. Pardon me?
Will he seat what's her face?
I don't know. It won't matter. It won't matter.
Arizona.
What?
The Arizona girl. You don't think they'll?
It won't matter. It won't matter whether you like it or not, because they might have to bring a vote. So what'll end up happening is that they'll drag their feet on the vote, and then they'll adjourn for the year, and then it'll just wait until January. But whatever it is that they were going to do to the Epstein files, it's already it's long been done. I guarantee you they've been tampered with and fucked with up and down. Like, they already redacted the ones that they released, right? So, like, they obviously have access to the files, and they're going to fuck with them. So, like, I think that the Epstein files should have been released. One of the reasons that I never even thought to bring it up is that every right-wing weirdo was like, we're going to get back into office and we're going to get the Epstein files. And it's like, okay, you're going to release information about the guy that you think is the greatest guy ever? The guy who's self-reportedly the fucking best friend to the child trafficking fucking
Right.
psychopath Jeffrey Epstein. You mean that guy? You're gonna release the files about that? Okay, cool. Do it right now. Fuck, I don't care. Release them now. That's why I never talked about it, because I'm like, oh, every Dan Bongino fucking bullshit podcast was like, well, once the Epstein files come out, and the reality is that like that's all been a narrative that has been purposely proposed to be like, oh, well, the right wingers are the conspiratorial people, right? Like right wing weirdos own conspiracies now, right? Which is how they managed to bring in all of these fucking dipshit hippies, all of the alternative science, holistic fucking blah 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 dipshits that used to be air quote on the left, who by the way, they were never left aligning. These are just fly by the wind fucking a-holes. They always have been and they always will be, right? It's like the mitochondria thing, you know. You got to access your mitochondria in order to lose weight. You're like, what? What? You need to restrict diet, eat lots of vegetables, get exercise, and you will lose weight. Drink water, sleep. That's it. Like,
welcome to the world.
There's no magical mitochondria fucking whatever. Which, of course, everybody's going to take GLP-1s now. Which, purportedly this week, Trump said they were going to be $20. Then he said they were going to be $45. Then he said they were going to be $145. And then he said they were going to be $120. But then they were $20. But then they were $60. It's like fucking insane.
And we're going to all lose 125 to 135 billion pounds, which
right.
means we all need to lose over 300 pounds each.
400 pounds. Chrissy says the U.S. senators are taking part in a series of votes that will work towards a deal to end the government shutdown. This could lead to a final Senate vote later tonight, but it won't end there. Yes, because it has to go back to the House. The House has to vote on it. You can't just pass it in the Senate and then it's done. It has to go back to the House. And the House has to vote on it. So, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things that need to happen. The Republicans this whole time have been saying, we're reasonable because we're just voting for a continuing resolution, because their whole idea was to get past the November election cycle, right? They wanted to get past the November election cycle with a continuing resolution that would continue to fund the Affordable Care Act so that people's health care prices wouldn't go up. That people's health care prices went up. And the reason that people's health care prices went up is that the Republicans struck down the mandate that you had to have health insurance, right? So all of the young people dropped off of the fucking health insurance, right? Which fucked up the risk pool. The risk pool is what insurance companies rate their prices on, right? If you have 100 million young people that aren't really going to see any care and you're collecting $100 from them, and then you have 10 senior citizens in the same group who are going to need $100,000 worth of care, you're pretty much unaffected, because you're like, okay, well, these people are chipping in, and then we're keeping those guys alive, and then we're giving healthcare to everybody. And one of the reasons that anybody would ever get away with saying that that's important is because we have a for-profit healthcare system here. Obamacare, as people like to call it, is the Affordable Care Act. And people keep saying, why would you call it Obamacare? And it's like, I wouldn't call it Obamacare. Republican conservative evangelical fucktards on like Fox News and shit call it Obamacare. Even though it wasn't designed by Obama. Obama came to the table and made concessions with Republicans. This whole part of the Affordable Care Act was proposed by Republicans because he was trying to fucking bridge the gap in politics, which, by the way, is never going to happen ever again, because all you people that voted for Donald Trump, all you MAGA fucks that still support him at this point, I don't think there's ever going to be going across the aisle ever again. I don't think that is ever really going to happen ever again, you know? Fool me once, right? But This is the best that we could do. We couldn't do Medicare for all, which is something that I've always fucking wanted. I've wanted universal health care forever. I've wanted universal health care to exist. I go, if fucking Norway can do it, if Sweden can do it, if the UK can do it, if Canada can do it, if fucking Argentina can do it, if all these other countries in the world can fucking do it, why can't we do it? Oh, because our fucking our private companies influence our and when I say that the private companies influence our politics, y'all want to point your finger at the politicians. It's not even that. The private companies influence our politics so that people vote for the politicians that are going to do the shit that the private companies want to do. If you go to Arkansas right now, if you go to AR Kansas and talk to people there, the people there will tell you, right? Like, I voted for the guy. He's going to do the stuff. And I'm like, that guy is... Here's this guy's funding. And it's like, it's all big oil, pharmaceutical companies. Like, if he had a NASCAR suit on, you'd be like, Pfizer, Shell, fucking, right? Merck, right? Like, what? Halliburton. Why does he have a Halliburton patch? What, you know?
Right.
But if you go there and you talk to those people, they're like, oh yeah, I voted for the right guy. They're convinced that they voted for the right guy because private companies are convincing them that they voted for the right guy. I constantly hear people like, why would Americans vote against their better interests? And it's like, they don't think they're voting against their better interests. They've been convinced by commercials, right?
Yeah, they don't.
They've been convinced by watching the air quote news stations like Sinclair Media news, air quote news stations,
right,
that have been feeding them this nonsense for decades now, right? That somehow in Kentucky, Mitch McConnell somehow gets elected over and over and over again, right? How much did we have to hear about sleepy Joe Biden, about how old Joe Biden is, right? Donald Trump is regularly falling asleep in fucking international meetings. Donald Trump can't read words. Donald Trump is claiming that things like Tylenol cause autism. Things like, well, I don't know if you get COVID and you put some light inside your body and bleach inside your body, and people are voting for that guy. Right? And it's because people around, they're surrounded by people that are wearing MAGA uniforms. You see people in fucking red hats with Donald Trump shirts where they have Donald Trump photoshopped onto John Rambo's body. Right? Like, what the fuck are we talking about here? Right? Like, when we talk about, like, the private companies are influencing our politics, and everyone thinks it's like some cartoonish bag of money is being delivered in the middle of the night by Lockheed Martin, right? It's like, no. Lockheed Martin is paying for advertising, for publicity. They're paying for favoritism within the news reporting on their shit, right? And then these fucking ignorant white fucking Jesus-loving freaks are like, oh, that's the guy I vote for. Because they don't have a fucking single thought in their head about, like, oh, I live on the planet Earth. Maybe I should engage with some of the elements here and kind of figure out what's going on and take a minute to realize, like, oh, I am a sentient creature with an internal fucking experience that I'm having. Take a minute and go, oh, wait a minute. I have a shitload of similarities to the other animals on this planet. I have very similar needs of all of the animals on this planet. We have a pretty obvious track record of these human-esque things that have been happening for quite some time. But then I'll walk down the street and listen to Kent Hovind talk about how dinosaurs and humans lived on the planet together. Right?
Right.
They'll go down the street and go to the Noah Ark Museum, where there supposedly was a flood that flooded the whole planet, killed everything, and somehow a guy built a boat, which, by the way, they thought dinosaurs were around during the Noah flood. Do you guys get that? Do you guys supposedly there were dinosaurs on Noah's Ark? Do you know how I know these people are wrong? Like, there would have to have been dinosaurs, what, 3,000 years ago? When was the flood? They think the Earth is only 6,000 years old. Was the flood the first day, or were the people here for a while?
Well, they had to be here for a while because it started out with 2 people. And unless they were fucking rabbits, they had to spread out a little bit. Now, they lived for hundreds of years, supposedly.
There you go.
Which we don't.
Yeah, Noah was supposed to have lived, what, 900 years or some shit? Whatever. Yeah. It's all lies. It's fucking bullshit. You might as well think Gandalf is real, right? Gandalf the Grey, okay? It says right here, proponents of the idea, often associated with young Earth creationism, argue that the Bible's account of Noah taking 2 of every kind of land animal, which would include dinosaurs, is literal. Okay? Like, that's these people, right? They get tricked by advertising. They get tricked by the fact that the local news stations are all owned by one mega conglomerate that, by the way, is a private corporation. Okay? And they're being advertised at every turn in their life. Okay? They're being controlled at every turn in their life. They're being coerced at every turn in their life. Why do you think Monster energy drinks are even legal to sell? Right? Because they are uneducated and don't have any desire to learn or question anything. They would rather just be sheep and follow the mega flock. Actually, the problem is that they've been coerced into that position, right? The idea is, and you think of it this way, that let's use another group of religious fanatic fucking freaks. The Mormons, okay? I've talked about this a million times. The Mormon Church, a bunch of insane beliefs. It's crazy. It's all made up by a guy named Joseph Smith. But you will meet Mormons that go to church all the fucking time, and they don't even know the history of their own church, which is insane, right? Like, they aren't familiar with the fact that, like, when did Joseph Smith was alive? In, like, what, the
1820?
1830s or something? He died in 1844. That this guy was wandering around from 1805 to 1844. Oh, he was assassinated. Take that, you fuck. Anyhow, this was a guy wandering around that just told them about this religion that he made up. They fell for it, but modern day Mormons like won't even know that. I've specifically talked to modern day Mormons where I'm like, you do realize that like Joseph Smith lived just like 100 something years ago, right? Like 180 years ago. But there was no Mormon before that. Like they got around to it just 180 years ago. They like just got around to it then.
They weren't Scientologists before Hubbard.
But the reality is they have all these people do weird stuff, right? Like celibacy is the first thing. But there's currently like a workaround with like young Mormons where you get hard, put it inside a vagina, somebody else jumps up and down on the bed, and that's you not having sex. Which I'm like, this is actually the definition of people having sex. Like, yeah, you have more You have more people in the room. That's just, by the way, that was just like my regular sex life. There was just more people in the room, right? Like, that was just normal. So I don't know what the fuck y'all talking about, second of all. But what they've done is they've managed to manicure an insane in-group, right? And then when these people go out into the world and then they start to talk to people that aren't involved in the cult that they're in, they're immediately ostracized and shunned, at least ridiculed, right? Which is a form of being ostracized. It's a form of being shunned, is being ridiculed by other people, your peers, right? They send them out into the world to specific areas where they're going to go around and they're going to knock on people's door, right? People don't want the pizza guy knocking on their door these days. You know what I'm saying? You called, or sorry, you got on an app. You can still call though. I learned that the other day. You can still call Pizza Hut or whatever. But they have your phone number and then they look up your account and just type in what you would have typed in on the app. Anyhow, so even when you order something, you don't want people showing up at your door, knocking at your door, and answering the door. Young people don't want to answer the door anymore. It's fucking crazy. I don't want to answer the door either, so call me young. I'm youthful. Look at my youthful vigor. But they have these kids. They're like 19 years old, ride around on bicycles, and knock on people's doors. And then,
But wait,
within moments of your first meeting somebody, you want to tell them about your religion, which Americans have never, ever, ever felt comfortable about having a conversation about religion. In fact, go find somebody that's 70 years old and try to talk to them about religion. They will immediately be like, we don't talk about that. Religion, sexuality, finances. Those old fucking people will not talk to you about any of those things. That's taboo. You don't talk about that. You don't want anybody out there to have a conversation about the fact that you really enjoy oral sex or whatever. You don't want to have that conversation. You don't want anyone to ever know that, because the puritanical ideology of former America, which is still riding high in places like the Mormon religion, that you're not supposed to discuss these things. You're not supposed to question the all-powerful, almighty, omnipotent being in the sky, who, by the way, could fix all of this shit and just have all of this stuff work. There's no reason for us to have this level of suffering. What's the point of a 2-year-old getting fucking blood cancer and dying? Why invent the cancer? If your God is all-powerful, why did they invent cancer? Oh, God works in mysterious ways. Cool, because your book is made up, right? Your book has a shitload of plot holes in it because it's made up, right? One of the reasons that the Lord of the Rings stories have some plot holes in it is because it's made up. It's a made-up story. A guy made it up, and he wrote it down. Exact same thing with the fucking Bible, with the Mormon Bible, with the Tabernacle, with the fucking the Torah, the whatever, these stupid fucking books that some dudes wrote, okay? But you can't have those conversations with people because they will get absolutely fucking bloodlusted irate. They will get bloodlusted irate and want to murder you over it, because deep down inside, they know that their God, air quote God, is completely impotent and doesn't exist. Right? So they want to take matters into their own hands. They will become absolutely enraged. They'll start screaming at you. They'll threaten you with violence. Or sometimes they'll enact violence on people. It is one of the most absurd things that has existed the entirety of my life.
Most of our, all of our.
The further we get away from these fucking, from allowing these organized religions and allowing private industries, who, by the way, I lump into all of the same group, because they are collecting money, they're influencing people, and they're influencing people in one of the most negative ways I could imagine possible. It's through monetary capture, right? And if you want to talk to me about monetary capture, ask me why the Mormon Church owns Coca-Cola. Ask me why the Vatican has a Fort Knox worth of gold in their basement, right? Ask me why the what are the other guys? What are those other dudes? The brown guys? Middle Eastern
Buddhist?
religion dudes? What the fuck are we talking
Buddhist?
about? Huh?
The Buddhists? The Hindu? Which?
The what?
I
Jesus
said
Christ.
the Buddhists.
The
Which
Buddhists.
religion?
The Buddhists don't
Muslim?
own anything.
The Muslims?
Muslims. There we go.
There you
Ask me why the Muslims have trillions of dollars worth of holdings, right? Like, why do all of these religions have all of this material wealth if none of it is important, right? But here we are, right? And the more to the point is that, like, I need more people to intellectually ascend from the idea that, oh, well, you know, Mitch McConnell got some money, right? It's not that Mitch McConnell got some money. It's all of the advertising, the TV channels, the news stations. They all got the money. And they all convinced the fucking mouth-breathing dipshits that have believed in UFOs the entirety of their life and believed in a flying bearded god, right? Like a Santa Claus character in the sky.
Right.
Refused to have open, accepting conversations about these topics, right? And have been influenced into cult-like belief by organized private businesses, otherwise known as churches. And the reason I brought up the Mormons is that they send those kids out on bicycles to go around and knock on doors to talk about their religion, which is just never happening with any single person that is going to answer that door. When they're done doing that for, how long is the missionary thing? A whole year? I think it's a whole year.
1 or 2 years, depending.
Yeah. Missionary.
It's not just a position.
Yeah, let's just look that up instead.
No.
Sometimes I like to fuck missionary style. 18 to 24 months. Okay. I thought it was a year, but it's longer than a year. So they send these kids out into the world, and all they experience from the world is people slamming the door in their face, literally and metaphorically. They're going to slam the door in your face physically by slamming an actual door. They're going to slam the door in your face metaphorically by absolutely refusing to believe in any of this shit that you supposedly believe in. Right? You will experience abject rejection over and over and over and over and over and over and over again until you return back home to all of the other Mormon people who welcome you home with open arms and accept you for who you are. And now you are fully bought in to the cult. You are, strangely enough, you go out to do this when you're 18, 19, 20 years old. And then you come back and you get ready to do some soaking, as D-Rock would say. Which means you insert your penis into a vagina and then you just hold still. And if you just hold still, you're not having sex. Which, by the way, clinically speaking, this is 100% how you have sex. That is the whole interaction. Because the whole interaction is the penis going into the vagina and then coming back out again. There, you had sex.
You can miraculously have babies without having Mormon sex. Shocking.
Without having what?
Said you can miraculously have babies while not having Mormon sex.
While not having Mormon sex?
Yeah, well, yeah.
Was
Maybe
anybody...
not my explanation.
Wait. I'm so confused. I'm confused. Was anybody questioning that you had to have Mormon sex to have babies?
No. But I'm just saying, if they're going to tell you that they've never had sex before and yet somehow they're pregnant, that's my point.
I'll tell you this much: if I put my penis in a vagina long enough, I'm gonna eventually ejaculate. I don't care who you are. Well, actually, I do care who you are. I'm stating who I am. It's gonna happen.
Okay.
It's gonna happen. I'm gonna work my brain into making it happen. That's what's gonna happen. You know.
At least that's the point. Good times.
What's that?
Said good times, and then I said at least that's the point. Good times.
I mean, it's gonna happen. Is what I'm saying.
Woo-hoo.
They're gonna put a baby in there. It's gonna happen.
Push that little thing in there.
You know, I mean, it's just. But the reality is that it's a cult, and that you're coerced into the point where you don't have an out, right? Your whole town is going to do this. Your whole town is going to do that. You don't have an out. You don't have an ability to have a conversation. You don't have the ability to have a conversation about how, like, you feel very spiritual, but it's pretty clear that all of this weird stand up, sit down, I'm only here at 10 a.m. on Sundays is abjectly nonsensical. Like, this is a whole nonsensical fucking thing. This doesn't make any sense. Like, maybe you are having an extreme spiritual experience, but it has absolutely nothing to do with this organized religion that you just accidentally were born into because of geography, right? Like, are you Muslim? Are you one of the 2 billion Muslims on the planet because you were born into a place that there just happens to only be Muslim people around? Is that the correct religion? Because you were just born into it. You didn't sign up for it. Is, like, evangelical Christian the right one? Is the weird people that, like, have rattlesnakes bite them?
Oh, yeah.
Is that the right one? Because you were just born in fucking Mississippi or whatever? Are you a Mormon just because you were born in Idaho? Are you a Protestant because you were born in Boston? I don't know. Right? But somehow all these people were geographically born into the correct religion, by their estimation, even though they all are in a different religion. And that, you know, their God isn't even strong enough to just get rid of the other religions, right? He's supposedly omnipotent and all-powerful, but he can't even just, like, get rid of the other religions? Why isn't there just one? If he is omnipotent and all-powerful, why are there other religions? Certain religions say it doesn't matter. Like you can be Buddhist and Protestant at the same time, and the Buddhists don't care. The Buddhists are like, yeah, all right, yeah, that's fine. Right?
Right.
But you can't be Protestant and be a Buddhist at the same time, because the Protestants are like, you're worshiping a false god and you're going to go to hell forever. And your life's going to be all fucked up. And you need to donate us some money. Quickly. Immediately.
Don't eat it, baby.
Religion is all about control. Yeah, it is. Yeah, 100%. I agree. That's the whole point of it. But the unfortunate thing is that, like, people are not necessarily realizing what the control is, because the control is for your money, right? That's what they want. They want your prosperity from you. They want to take your financial prosperity from you. That's the whole reason that they exist. It's actually funny. I have a really good friend that worked his way up into the corporation that is the Christian church. And he ended up quitting because ended up getting out of there because he realized, like, it's just a corporation in order to make money. That's the whole reason that it exists.
Right.
They have a board. They have shareholders. They're collecting the collections. They have Excel sheets that they're looking at to figure out where they can get more money, where they need to be more efficient, where they can find more people to give them money. It's disgusting. It reminds me.
Uh-oh. You've been reminded of it.
This is how you meow meow.
You were meow meow?
Of how meow 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 meow. It's not me, say sorry. I was waiting on a different story. You know, something popped up on my playlist the other day while we were driving around.
Yes. What was it?
And it was Nickelback, 2 songs at once. And I highly recommend anybody go look that up. Nickelback, 2 songs at once. And you will notice that there are 2 Nickelback songs playing at the same time. It's one song, right? It's one track. But 2 songs are playing at the same time. One in the right ear and one in the left ear. They panned one track left and they panned the other track right. And you will come to realize when somebody says, I hate Nickelback, and you go, why? And you go, this, right, that right there is the reason. And the reason is they are playing 100% contrived the same song, right? So it has really a lot less to do with like the personality of the lead singer or the content of the song's lyrics or anything like that, you guys. It has everything to do with the fact that they wrote a song formula brought to you by, guess what, private industry. And they continue to write all their songs around that format. And the reason for that is that level of familiarity with the new songs that come out would just lead people to be like, this is a good song. You know why? Because I know what's going to happen in the song.
The exact same as the last good song.
And that's truly why Nickelback actually sucks, is that they only ever play one song. Because they only have one song. Because they're only ever asked to play the one song. Just other songs have different themes to them. Thematically, right? But the theme is always heartbreak and longing or whatever. So they're really not that different.
Right.
But you will learn that the songs are exactly the same. And in music theory, they have long since tested that theory. That, if you construct a song a certain way, certain tonal changes, certain tempo, verse, chorus, verse, chorus, right? Outro. And they do all those things. And the thing is that song will completely catch on because the people listening to it, even though they've never heard it before, they've actually heard it before. And it gives them a false sense of familiarity and makes them think, oh, well, this must be good because I'm familiar with it.
Right.
Right? Oh, shit, I'm getting a phone call. Luckily, my mute button works now.
burping and spitting up worms?
Where's the mic? Where's the mute button? There it is. Okay. The mute button. The mute button is fixed. Doo-doo-doo-doo. I have to take some children to a thing tomorrow, apparently. Apparently that's my job now. Apparently my job is I got to take some children to a thing and drop them off.
Thing driver. There are worse things in life.
This is the time on Sprockets where we dance. I'm shopping with my ill-gotten snap gains as we stream today. I live in one of those rebel states that isn't giving back the funds issued to SNAP recipients. Yeah, I don't know if you guys realize that. The Trump administration is suing to revoke the monies that were distributed through SNAP. So if you ever have a question like what's Donald Trump about? Like he's about suing the federal government for giving out food subsidies to people, right? Like, you know, when I talk about like these people don't want anything for you, they have none of your interests in mind, like none of your best interests in mind. That's what I'm talking about. But for some reason, there's a group of Americans, and when I say for some reason, I already described it earlier, that there's a group of Americans that are like, no, he's going to make it great. You're like, okay, how? By what metric? You know, how's he going to do it? He's doing it. He's working so hard. He's falling asleep. He's falling down. He doesn't know what executive orders he's signing. He doesn't know who he's pardoning. Even at the very least, he's performing more like Joe Biden than Joe Biden actually was.
He's more sleepy than Sleepy Joe. Maybe it's winter. Maybe it's just he's got to hibernate.
What? He got a hypernate?
Yeah, he thinks he's a bear.
No, he's got a hypernate.
Yeah. Okay.
Not hibernate.
Hibernate.
Hey, you gonna go do Christmas lights this year?
You're obviously not talking to me.
I am talking to you. Hey, you gonna go do Christmas lights this year?
No, because I won't be able to get off the mountain to see any Christmas lights, and my neighbors don't string them up on here. Up here.
What if you got a sweet, sweet telescope?
I would need one hell of a telescope, that's for sure.
They can see pretty far, dude. They can see the fucking moon, dude.
Yeah, well, there's mountains in the way between me and what I would have to be looking at. So
No. Mountains.
Mountains?
Kitty cat mountains. Oh shit, it's time to end the show. Get fucked. Stay fucked. Bye.